you might be hurting your TikTok account if you're listening to some of the really terrible advice that's out there about growing and thriving on TikTok. Now, I've been teaching about TikTok since the very beginning. I am one of the top ranking educators over on YouTube about TikTok, and I've worked directly with TikTok for many, many years on their projects. They call me one of their top creators. So I have heard a ton of really terrible advice when it comes to TikTok. This is going to be the tip of the iceberg. There will be follow-ups and sequels on this, so follow along. And if you've heard advice that you want to check if it's a red flag or a green flag, drop it down below. I am here to get those questions answered for you. The first thing that I've been hearing recently is that you absolutely should be pinning your most popular videos to the top of your TikTok. And this is terrible, terrible advice. People are saying, get the ones with the really big numbers and pin it so that people can see that you've done cool things. But here's the thing. People want to understand your account the second they go to your account. The pinned posts need to be the most influential videos, the ones that are going to help them to understand and make the choice of, yes, I'm going to follow this person because I'm getting X, Y, and Z out of following them. This is the best representation of you as a business, as a brand, as a creator, so that people know what they're getting themselves into. And having a one-off viral video doesn't really matter. And it also looks like you just had a one-off viral video if the recent videos are not getting a ton of views, which we're seeing for a lot of people. So use your pinned videos for the most relevant, educational, informational pieces of content about you and what people get out of following you. And if they happen to have great numbers, fantastic. And if they don't, that's okay, because we are specifically looking to grow your community, not to be flashy and say, oh, look, I went viral once or twice or maybe 3 times. Using your pinned videos wisely is incredibly important. Related to your videos, you also want to make sure that you are aware of the caption that you are using. The caption that you have in your video is going to be incredibly important because now TikTok is getting logged in SEO when you're searching on Google and other places. So we're paying attention to what we're writing in our caption. There's no longer room in the TikTok space for you to just leave kind of a 1 or 2 word video caption. You're not just saying, this was so fun, or have you seen this before? You actually have to tell us what it is, because Google is searching through all of these TikToks and actively giving TikToks as search results. And if they don't know what you're doing inside of your videos, it doesn't help you. So you have to make sure you have a qualified, good caption. And that should be more than a sentence in most cases. You want to make sure you're kind of treating it like a YouTube video. So you've got a title and then you've got a description, a caption with those keywords, reiterating the things that you're saying, the things that you're showing, the things that you're doing, what people are going to get out of it. You want to be thinking, if someone is searching for the topic that I'm talking about in this video, whether it's educational or entertaining, I need to make sure they're able to find this. So what keywords, what elements do I need to put in there? Now, we're not keyword stuffing. We are not just like putting random words in there. I have seen so many people just like word, comma, word, comma, word, comma. That's not it. That is not the vibe. Make sure that they are in logical sentences, literate sentences that make sense. If somebody were to pull up your TikTok and read the caption out loud to their friends, it has to describe what's going on inside of the video. It has to be something that is relevant to the content, and that is going to do well for you when it comes to Google searching and for other search engine optimization, to make sure that TikTok knows, but the search engines do too. Very, very relevant to have a good quality caption when it comes to you posting. But in terms of your captioning, we also need to talk about hashtags. I am seeing people who are still preaching the benefits of tons of hashtags, and this is not the case. I don't know if you've noticed, but the TikTok algorithm is kind of like the best algorithm out there. They're incredibly intelligent. They know what you're saying. They know what you're wearing. They know what your background looks like. They know the tiny little thing in the very corner of your video that's like a sticker on a novel on your book. They get it. They know what's going on. They understand exactly what's happening, and they go over your caption as well. They do not need you to shove a bunch of hashtags in there. In fact, we're now at the point where hashtags are pretty irrelevant in general. Like, they get it. They know where to put it. They know where to put it in the algorithm system. They know who to show it to. They know where to put it in Explore. They know where to put it in FYP. They get it. You don't need to tell them what hashtags to put this under. Hashtags are pretty much, if not entirely, irrelevant on TikTok, and very much becoming irrelevant on some of the other social platforms as well. So hashtags really don't serve your purpose. You can add a couple, but I wouldn't do more than like a handful. Like, 1 to 5, maybe. I wouldn't go over that. If there's something that is kind of outside of the realm of what you typically do, maybe you want to add it then, just to be like, hey, I typically talk about this thing, but this is a little bit different. So just maybe like be aware of this outlier here. But your hashtags are the least important part of your post. The least important part of your post. So if you want hashtags, you can, but it's not helping you and they're not hurting you. So you don't really need hashtags. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about today is that we're seeing a very big, strong push toward TikTok shopping. If you are buying things from the TikTok shop, by all means, that's awesome. If you want to create content on it, that's fine. You don't have to. And you also don't have to be like Little Miss Affiliate at this point, just shopping video after shopping video after shopping video, unless that's what the specific channel is about. If you have a brand, if you have a product, if you have a service, if you've got something that you're doing where you've got a very specific niche, and then all of a sudden you're doing these shopping videos, we are starting to see more and more people educate on how to remove shopping videos from the platform. And because we're seeing such an influx of those shopping videos, people are getting really tired and swiping away. So you have to be very judicial about when and where and how you're using shopping videos. And we're also seeing these infomercial-like videos no longer performing as well because we're getting really tired of them. They were a hit for a hot minute, but we're kind of tired of it now. So there are better ways to incorporate the shopping links by creating valuable content and then using the products while you're telling stories or having those conversations, or it's in the background somewhere, or it's a part of something larger that you're doing. When we stand there and say, this is the thing that you should be buying, here's all the benefits, people typically aren't going to stick around for that. So you have to be very careful with that. This also has it also has connections to the shopping content that you're creating. So if you're doing brand deals with people, if they're like sending you all their stuff, that's the nice way of putting it. If they're sending you all their stuff and demanding you make videos, they want it to be, here's the thing, look at the benefits of the thing. That doesn't serve them and it's not serving you. So be smart about how you are creating your shopping content, and just know that you don't have to be one of the people who is connected to that. You don't have to do that. That is not mandatory. It might make you a couple pennies. It might make you some decent money depending on who you are and what you do. If that is something you want to do, I would recommend starting a secondary channel specifically for shopping on TikTok, and do it all about like the Amazon must-have videos, the TikTok shop must-have videos. Create a separate channel for that, make the money that way. But don't wreck your brand because you're jumping on something that's kind of flash in the pan on TikTok. Okay, drop your questions about the red and green flags that you're seeing, the things that people are giving advice for. I will happily share my take on those things to make sure that you are making this your most profitable year ever when it comes to your social media marketing, and making sure that we are taking away the stress and the overwhelm and the time commitment on your content that should be taking you for 90% of the content you're doing under 5 minutes. Start to post like 5 minutes. We teach you on the channel here. So follow along for more. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes as we continue to help you navigate the world of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and live streaming.